All right, everybody. Welcome back. The marathon rolls on and continues. I'm WXFan21, your host from Metroids for Charity. And we've gone from Planet Zebes to Talon 4. Now we're headed to the BSL research station. Welcome to Metroid Fusion 100%. And as I've been saying, this is the only 100% run that we're going to have with this entire race. So with that being said, we have a ridiculous long amount to do. I'm going to turn it over to two people that need absolutely no introduction to the wonderful Fusion community. Dark Spy and Thunder99 are your commentators. Flashfrost is your runner. Boys, take it away.
Yo, what's up, folks?
Yeah.
First off, I just like to express how much of an absolute honor it is to commentate not just the run of a great friend in Flashfrost, but to be able to do commentary in a great charity event like this one. Never in my life did I think that my decision of joining the Metroid Fusion Discord 3 years ago would lead to this. It's an honor to be here.
True.
With that said, yeah, we're gonna be watching Flash do the 100% speedrun for Metroid Fusion, which is infamous for being one of the longest speedruns in 2D Metroid, if not the longest.
Yeah, it's up there. It's a long one. There's a lot of stuff to get.
And there's also a lot of text to go through, which is the biggest reason for the speedrun to be as long as it is, both in any percent and 100%.
Yeah, I think Fusion's any percent is pretty up there as well for one of the longer ones, and then you have to, on top of that, you have to get like whatever it is. You have to get 250 missiles, 20 E-tanks, and 74 power bombs. There's quite a few things to get. I don't know why we would need 74 power bombs, but here we are.
A long time ago, I read in an online forum that the reason there's so many E-tanks and power bomb packs in Fusion is that when developing the game, they couldn't figure out a way to make data rooms and core X's count towards the percentage. So what they did to have 100 items in the game is chuck a bunch of PB tanks and E-tanks.
Fire. Well, I know power bombs, in principle,
going?
how they work. They're kind of meant to be your pseudo X-ray scope, since we don't have one in this game. But
yeah,
even
true.
then, 74 is a lot. Once you have all of them, it's really hard to actually use them all.
Yeah, true.
I think the lowest you go in the any percent run is like 5 or 6, and that's on the way to Xbox. It's the only time you get like kind of low.
All right, let's see this climb. Oh. All right, not too shabby. Yeah. So this first part of the run, these first few minutes aren't. I always like to say that they're interesting, and at the same time they're not, because there's a bit of intricate movement, especially on the way to missiles, which is the first upgrade we get in Fusion. However, there's also so much text that it renders this part of the game to be a bit boring because there's a lot of exposition.
Yeah, this whole first segment, it's like the movement is pretty straightforward. Like everybody does the movement pretty similar. I mean, obviously there's like small frame optimizations here and there, but like a good, I don't even know, like 5 to 10 seconds of it can easily be accounted for how good your text is, because in this game, the text is skill-based, so you can't see an input viewer, but at the moment, Flash is holding a button to speed up the text, and he's timing another button press to dismiss the text box. Then he has to go back to the original one to speed it up again, and there's like a small frame window in between each time you dismiss a text box.
Correct.
And you have to do that quite a bit in this run.
You know what I hope we do quite a bit in this run, and I apologize for cutting you both off. Hopefully I'll be reading out a ridiculous amount of donations. We got a $10 donation in from the one, the only Flashfrost, who says, as I scroll down to it, donating for the good cause. Great charity and mental health is a serious thing that should be openly discussed, and society can do more to help. That is extremely true. And by the way, we want to give a shout out to everyone in the Fusion community. Appreciate to see a bunch of you hanging out in Twitch chat with us. And Thunder, congratulations. You did beat C. Scotty W earlier in the any percent tournament. So I just realized I literally thought you both were sarcastically trolling me. So I apologize.
Nope.
So if you all like Metroid Fusion, it'll be Monkey versus Thunder in the grand finals. All right, so we're gonna get our missiles, but looks like this power is about to go out in the station. Take it away, boys.
All right. So yeah, contributing to a very good cause with this charity. As someone who does suffer from mental health issues, I do go to therapy. But as someone who is a victim of a mental illness, it's great to see voices in the general Metroid community donate and just organize events like these in general. But yeah, we now have our missiles. Power's out in the station for reasons unknown. And Flash will be getting the first two items right here, which we also get in any percent.
Approaching our favorite part of the game. Holy cow. RNG,
Oh, boy.
my beloved. There is a lot of RNG in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, not quite getting the double? Okay, we
Oh,
get the second
nice.
one though. Yo, just the one beam, not too shabby.
Yeah, not too shabby. Eye doors. So, eye doors shoot beams at you. They can shoot a max of 4 before they're forced to open. And it's roughly a 50-50, not exactly, but it's roughly a 50-50 whether or not you get a beam. And each beam you get loses you, on average, 3 seconds. Yep. Flash, unfortunately, not getting the backstrap for Arachnus. Clean recovery.
Decent start. Take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we take these. One beam. Not bad. Good enough. Yeah, so now we have our Morph Ball, which allows us to go into tiny spaces since, you know, Samus can crawl inside her power suit. But with Morph Ball, we can actually go ahead and go into the meat of Metroid Fusion, which is the Sector Hub. It's where you spend around, I'd say 85% of the time you spend playing Fusion would be in the Sector Hub.
Yeah, you're in there quite a bit, especially with how long the elevator sequences are. They're very slow in this game.
Mm-hmm. Right. We're now going to be seeing our big bad in the SAX, and fun fact, and also a bit of Dark Spy lore. I first played Fusion when I was 5 years old. I got a GBA for Christmas alongside Metroid Fusion. Shout out to my dad for thinking that I'd like a quote cool space robot when he saw the box art. I got to this part of the game, and when I saw that close-up of the SAX, I turned my GBA off and I didn't pick it up for 2 weeks. My parents seriously reconsidered returning the GBA because I just wasn't playing with it. And to this day, the SAX is still my boogeyman.
Real, the big bad.
All right, Thunder, do you want to tell chat in the audience about Sector 1?
Oh, my beloved. So, similar to missiles, it's pretty, most of the movement here is pretty cut and dry, though the one caveat with how Sector 1 is, which will have an advantage here with the fact that Flash grabs some extra missiles early, because for the 100% route, it's faster to grab those ones in main deck now, so he has 25, but ideally, going through here, you don't want to take any damage, because then you're guaranteed what we see now on the screen, which is the green X's, which give you ammo drops. And there's a few problematic rooms that could make you take damage, but with him having some extra, it shouldn't be too bad. And we'll grab a few things along the way, such as this E-tank.
Yeah.
That strat he just tried to do there is actually like really hard to do damageless, because that guy just shoots all the time. You have to be really quick with your unmorph.
Another thing to keep in mind with Sector 1 is that Steam cycles run on something we call stabilizers, I should say, run on something we call Steam cycles, which is basically anytime the background goes red, that's on a set cycle. So what we try and do is kill the stabilizer with the background going red as few times as possible. And every time the background goes red an additional time, it's another Steam cycle lost and another 1.5 seconds lost as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few of those, and they're, of course, you know, like everything else in this game, a lot of RNG, so they're all on, like that one was a bad pattern. So it was falling as soon as Flash got over to the side where you could actually shoot it. So you had to wait for it to come back up to actually hit it again with the other two missiles.
There's strats
There's got
to
the health.
guarantee.
We should be able to get drops here. Decent.
Yeah.
Slightly low missile count, but it's fine because you only need 3 to get rid of the eye door, so should be all good there. Could probably pretty comfortably go for a double as well. Oh yeah, that'll give me a green as well.
Yeah.
So we're all good.
Definitely. Flash already did it on the first side door. He's doing it now, and he's going to do it to... Oh, unfortunate.
Still just the one, though. Alright.
Yeah. Right, so... Flash did it in the other eye door. He tried to do it with this one, and he's going to do it with this core.
That was a double.
Yeah, so doubles... Basically, you manipulate core X's such a way that they move into 2 missiles at the same on the same frame, and so the game counts both hits.
Yeah. It accelerates a lot of the core fights, because basically every boss in this game has a core associated with it, and then that's what, once you kill that core, it reveals its power up, and then you can go ahead and collect it. And the amount of missiles it takes to kill each one throughout the game changes, but you also get missile upgrades to go along with that. But in any case, doubles typically save you about 3 seconds, because it takes about that long to... Okay, I was about to say, where are we going? It takes about that long for the invulnerability frames to be over. Every time you hit every time you hit a core, it has 3 seconds of invulnerability.
Yeah. It is exactly 180 frames of invulnerability that the core X's have, so...
Trust, we've counted them all the times I've been off by a singular frame.
And I've also done a task of a ROM hack of this game, so I know exactly how many frames a core takes.
For real.
You both mind if I get a couple donations in?
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
All right, we got a couple donations in here. Exclamation point donate in the Twitch chat to donate to this great and amazing cause. Again, we're raising money for Safe in Our World. They're a mental health charity specifically devoted to the video games industry and communities of gamers. We have a 20 pound donation from Anonymous. 10 pounds. I'm saying pounds because this organization is based in the United Kingdom and they use British pounds. So we have a 10-pound donation from Cryhard. Says mental health is something that they've struggled with, and they said that they've struggled with and will continue to struggle with. Thanks for supporting an incredibly important cause. Well, my personal shout out is hopefully something you struggle with and then never ever struggle with it again. But yeah, thank you so much for the donations, Cryhard and Anonymous. We are at 393.72 pounds. Man, this not the conversion's
Crazy.
gonna mess me up for this entire marathon. USD pounds.
Oh boy.
All right. Whatever the Federation's using for currency nowadays, the Ferengi using whatever the Ferengi using their gold press latinum. Anyway, it's time to enter Sector 2 and oh boy.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's a gray Samus. Yeah.
That is very messed up.
What are we doing here in Sector 2?
So here in Sector 2, we're going to be collecting at this point of the game 2 power-ups. We'll be collecting bombs and we'll be collecting high jump. But first, before we can get those bombs, we need to go unlock level 1 security.
Kind of a funny thing that I don't even know what the reasoning was, but I just always found it funny when I was playing this game growing up that it's like in the storyline that the security rooms can't be shown on the map. So you're at this point, this is like your first time like kind of just going out of your way trying to find this blue door.
Oh yeah,
blue door
True.
security, which is it's pretty easy. I mean, they don't give you many places to go without it, but
imagine if they did.
Oh yeah, I know. Imagine if it was like a manhunt. You had to go like for like 3 different trails to go find it. 4 different trails. I'd be like, oh my gosh.
While being hunted by the SAX, no less.
Real. That's one thing I wish they would have done with this game, but looking back, I understand why it is what it is exactly what it is.
Yeah. The GBA, as good as it was for its time, also had its limitations.
Yeah.
But we appreciate what the Nintendo development teams were able to make on this console. In my opinion, one of the greatest consoles of all time.
I love the GBA. It's so good.
Alright, now I actually have our bombs. After watching Flash struggle ever so slightly with Zoro doubles, those can be very annoying on occasion.
Yeah. Alright, you'll see us kind of go a little bit if you've ever seen an 90% run, this is a little bit out of the way. This is just because these next few items are so far out of the way later in the game when you come back to do your sector sweep, when you have all the abilities. They're just so far out of the way that it's just faster to do them now. This is definitely one of those like big route optimizations that has kind of just been around forever.
Now, I regret to inform chat, we will not be seeing infinite bomb jumps as we are playing Vanilla Fusion.
Sad. Yeah, that was a methodology for not allowing any type of sequence breaking, was slowing down the bombs just enough to where you can't actually use... Well, so it's kind of odd. You can do like a very small boost with bombs, and there's a couple spots in Honda specifically where that is like a legitimate strat, but that's like the best you get out of it. You can't just indefinitely scale a wall or anything like that. We also don't have single wall jumps either, like how you'd see in a game like ZM, for example.
Nintendo really went out of their way to make sure you couldn't break the order in which you get things in Fusion. Unfortunately, they let a couple cracks slip, and you best believe that both casuals, speedrunners, and even tassers had a field day abusing those cracks.
Oh yeah.
Now, for what it's worth, you still can't get any power-up or event out of order in the base game, but what you can do is fight a couple bosses early just for fun, and you can use literal memory corruption to beat the game quicker.
Yeah.
Yo, the missile...
Ouch %, holy cow. They have a very janky hitbox. That's why he just goes through.
Mhm.
Oh, big RNG boss, my beloved Zosby.
Zazumi can give you anywhere between 3 and 11 jumps.
12. 12.
Is it 12?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh
12
boy.
is max. Which, anything in between, the whole fight in terms of how many times it jumps is just RNG dependent. That gets selected on the frame that, I think it's, I'm trying to remember from when I looked at this before, it's the frame after, like, right here you'll see it make an animation, it's the frame after that it decides what it's going to do next.
I believe it's in the middle of the crawl. Nice doubles.
Yeah, there's some weird, you can pause buffer it, but it's, or pause manip it, but it's, yeah, there's no way of really doing that. That's only a task thing.
Yeah.
You could try it, but it'll probably end up being worse for you. That's what's happened to me before.
Likely.
Funny enough.
Alright,
We would
now
have gotten
can
us
see-
percent again, holy cow.
Yeah. Okay. Safety save, we respect this. Alright, sack skip. In 100%, it is far easier than in any percent. However, it's never guaranteed, especially in a game like Fusion that likes to screw its runners over for no reason.
It's true. And textbook. Easy money.
Easy money. Literally textbook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
Good
100%
climb so
since you
far?
have extra health, the idea there is that you just run into sacks a very specific way, and you just get deboosted. And whenever you run through with your iframes, there's like a little delay before it realizes what's actually going on, so it just gives you plenty of time to run away. It's very convenient.
Indeed. I think that hesitation was Flash trying to think if he forgot any items or not.
Now we are all set.
We are absolutely all set.
He hasn't forgotten anything in his practice runs the past few weeks, so he should be good.
No, yeah.
Either
Now-
that or he's taking a look at the FSU game. So he's a big FSU fan. His alma mater.
Yes, indeed. I myself am not a huge Hundo runner. I've only done a handful of runs, but I do know the route like the back of my hand. So if Flash does miss anything, I will be yelling at him for it.
True. Yeah, you know the Hundo. You know Hundo pretty well for not doing it as much as a lot of people have. It's a very what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very different category in terms of just all the extra tech you have to do, and it's very long.
There may or may not have been a little friendly competition between Dark Spy and Flashfrost earlier this week during a practice run where Flash set a
Well-
PB and almost knocked somebody in here out of their place and forced somebody to get back into 100% Dark Spy.
Yeah. Over this year, almost 2 years actually, that I've been speedrunning, Flash has always been like, I'd say a friendly rival. Even though I wouldn't even use rival because. So I need to provide some context here before we go into the cool movement of Sector 4. I started speedrunning this game out of spite because I was a rando player and I was bullied by Flash and Schmade to speedrun Fusion, and I kept teasing Flash that getting a time better than his would be easy, and he kept telling me to do it. So I went ahead and did it.
Goat. True story, by the way. Can confirm.
Yeah, and of course, I wasn't just gonna do it in any percent either. I had to go out of my way to make sure that my time in all the categories was better than Flash's. And you know, The one time he did bop me in a category, it was in 100% hard mode, and I got that back from him in 2 days.
Had to do it to him.
Of course. All right, now Sector 4. I quite like Sector 4. It's one of my favorite sectors, actually, in terms of movement. It's very interesting, very intricate, though it is, like many other aspects of the movement in this game, pretty cut and dry.
There's a few bits. It's definitely definitely the point of the run in both Hundo and any percent where you kind of like the execution windows get like a little bit tighter and like you're being asked to like react to patterns on the fly and things like that. It's pretty interesting. But in Hundo, this has really cool movement in Sector 4 both times you come here. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so it seems that Ceres is a pile of bones. All right, let's see what kind of RNG we get here. Okay.
Oh, finally, let's go. No beam. Holy cow. I thought we were just gonna get one on every door.
All right, Flash, we need the 2-tap on Ceres to do it for me.
That's a clean first shot.
Oh, hang on.
Let's go. Easy pattern.
There it is.
Bang.
Never in doubt.
Real.
Teabagging for good measure. Oh, okay. Good recovery.
So, something I didn't mention earlier, but it's just easy because now it's displayed on Ceres specifically. But you can 2-shot Ceres because so why I'm not sure, but the Fusion Charge Beam is probably like just objectively the most busted beam of all time.
Oh, Flash!
And it has 2 parts that come out of it on the top and bottom. Those each do 10 damage apiece, and then there's a little piece called the Flare, and that does another 6 damage. It's like absurdly busted for this game. It used essentially at this point, Charge Beam is actually stronger than the base missiles, so it's not until we get super missiles next that it'll actually be more damage just to do a missile, but most enemies can be killed by either one, so.
And then we get Y beam anyway, and missiles become obsolete again.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, the sequencing of all of the upgrades makes the tools you're utilizing throughout the run in both any percent and 100% kind of interesting.
Flash, we did not need that farm. we have 5 E-tanks. We are satisfactory.
Real. So yeah, this is already like a huge difference in terms of like loadout. So in any percent, you're gonna have anywhere between 3 to 5 E-tanks on average, and 45 to 50 missiles typically. And at this point in time, Flash already has 5 tanks, and I think it's 50 or 60 missiles at this point. So already making a huge dent in the amount of total items we have to pick up.
Exactly.
Similarly to Sector 2, well, specifically in Sector 4, when we cut back through here, there's a shortcut to get into Sector 2 going the back way, so it's just faster to grab all this stuff in Sector 4 whenever you go through the first time.
There's a lot of that in 100% in Fusion. It's basically, we're here now, might as well get this while we're here, because coming back here later would just be a longer stretch. Essentially.
Real, any donators in chat? Where are they at?
That's actually just so true.
Hey, get to the link. WX fan, put it in the chat. Get to the link. Throw some bread in the bucket.
We are supporting a great
helping
cause.
out. We doing charity.
We're supporting a great cause because mental health is a very important aspect of our lives, and we should absolutely treat it. We should treat our own mental health well, and we should help others with their own mental health where we can.
Read.
And the way to do it in this event is by donating. By donating if you can do so. Alright, so coming into Sector 3. Sector 3 is basically Fusion's Norfair. Except there's a lot less heated rooms in Sector 3 than there are in Norfair typically. We're basically being told, go unlock level 2 locks, go get super missiles, get out. All in all, we're being given simple instructions. The game design, however, is not allowing us to follow simple instructions. There's always something in the way.
True. That's how it goes, like, every single time. Which, as you'll notice, at the exact moment in time, there's no enemies to be found in this sector yet.
Mm-hmm.
Until you unlock the doors, and they all just pop out of the woodworks.
Yeah. They're all just waiting for the most convenient moment.
Real. I know, like, it's a very criticized thing with this game, but I've always loved the storyline and linearity. I always thought it was, like, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was, like, my favorite part about it as a kid, like, just following along with the story. I was like, yeah, we're just doing the mission. It's awesome.
Yeah. I've also always really enjoyed the linearity of this game. And given that this was my first Metroid game, I believe... Yo, Shine Okay.
Shine Break?
Bang! Cook.
That's actually a really tight trick. That's a one. It looks way more than it is, but that's only a 1 second time save for how difficult it is. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's it's why I don't bother with it.
It's so awesome. Though.
No, it's
so
awesome. The Metroid game I played after. Oh, hang on.
Hang on, good jump. Oh, back point flip. Sad.
Back point. Okay, we got tails instead of heads. My second Metroid game after Fusion was a few years after I first played Fusion. It was Super, and it was very funny playing Super for the first time and being like, where do I go?
Yeah, it was very interesting for me playing it. I only played it for the first time a few years ago, and that was like my first reaction. I remember I forget what point in the game it was, but there was a point where like I was just wandering around like, what am I doing? I do remember getting, which is funny in retrospect because that was before I started watching speedruns of it and like getting into like the general Metroid community. So I didn't really know anything, but I do remember getting to Moat and being like, oh man, if only I could just get across.
Well, do I have the trick for you?
If only I was good enough to get across, man.
Oh, hang on.
Okay, opener, 5-shot opener, we're good. Oh, one tanked, however, easy backup. We just get hit by the bomb real quick, take a D-boost. Easy.
Indeed.
Quick kill box, awesome strat.
Yeah, everyone should be doing that.
It is actually a lot easier than it looks. It's kind of crazy how much easier it is than it looks.
It only gets harder once you start incorporating like the jump out.
Yeah, on the 5th missile that you saw Flash do when he first jumped over top of a box, you can, if your timing's correct, you can jump out and shoot at the same time and still hit box. But while you jump out, you'll mitigate a D boost because I think it does it's like 45. It's like 45 or something damage, right? It's pretty crazy.
Something like that.
It's a decent chunk of damage.
Yeah.
Maybe not 45. I know with 2 hits you basically lose an entire E-tank. But as you saw, it ran away, so more to be had with that guy later.
With Super being my first exposure to what is considered the Metroid formula of, open-endedness, exploration, that kind of stuff. It took me a while to adapt to that, but over the years and playing other Metroid games like Prime, ZM, etc., it got me enjoying the Metroid formula, but still appreciating and enjoying the way Fusion did things differently.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see both ends of the argument of why some people just don't like Fusion, but it honestly kind of made me like it more. I was like, yeah, this is just so different. It's like really just in its own world, but it's
Yeah.
still a part of the bigger like story.
For the time, Fusion having as many story elements as it did was actually kind of huge because up till Super, there wasn't like a very intricate story with the Metroid series. It was basically go to a planet, kill Metroids, blow stuff up.
Yeah, basically.
Like, up to this point, the story was Samus goes to Zebes once to kill some Metroids and Mother Brain. She gets sent to SR-388 to exterminate all the Metroids except for the baby Metroid. And then in Super, she does the same thing as in Metroid 1, but then she also blows up Planet Zebes.
Yeah.
That was basically the extent of the story for Metroid up till Fusion.
Mhm.
Well, Fusion and Prime, because they were released on the same day.
Yeah, the Prime series as well has like a pretty interesting storyline to it as well as you get through all the games. Which
really
is
like the
finally a
Prime.
continuation of it. Holy cow.
Thank God, December 4th can't come any quicker.
You can catch Dark Spy playing on release day all day.
I've already asked my manager to make sure I have a day off on December 4th.
Goat.
Need that.
See, there's Dark Spy. There's people like Dark Spy that are just playing all the new ones right as they come out and like being like pretty prompt with it. And then there's me who's still like multiple games behind.
Like, for context, Thunder still hasn't played Dread.
No, I've played parts of it, but not the whole thing.
You played like the first 10 minutes of it when you were over here in Portugal.
Yeah, basically. That's like all I've done. I've watched speedruns of it before, but I have no idea what's going on, and I'm like barely paying attention, so it's just like, oh yeah, whatever.
It's okay, Thunder. I haven't played Dread either. I don't like the horror genre, but when I saw the trailers for that, I was like, nope.
See,
Not
I was really
happening.
excited. I was really excited because I was like, oh man, you know, continuation of Fusion, like the next 2D game, and then like when I was gonna get around to start playing, it was also like when I started to kind of take it's like the whole speedrunning thing a little more serious, and I've just been kind of stuck on that for a while.
Yeah.
There we go.
Bit of a rough Megacore fight, but managed to pull through it.
This
Ooh,
fight's
these
really
levels are
awkward
not connecting.
because ideally you're trying to just push it back with your charge beam because it has like a reaction to the charge beam where it like gets sent back really far, and I don't even actually know like if there's like specific positions on the Mega Core or like how it all, but like its movement can be really weird because like sometimes you'll hit it with a full power charge beam and it like doesn't move at all and it comes like soaring at you instantly, and then sometimes it just goes really far away, or it does like it just did there for Flash, or it was like flying around in circles. It's like, what are you doing? Come here now.
Yeah, right now.
That
Yeah,
definitely
I
that
will-
split is one of the more difficult ones because you have to deal with the box fight and that one.
Cool. We'll play some item cleanup here. I gotta get in a couple programming notes. Of
let's
course,
get it.
please make sure you have the opportunity to donate throughout the entirety of this marathon. We pick back up on 11:45 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We're gonna end probably around 10 p.m. Eastern. Plenty of time to donate. One more slot in the marathon tonight. That is going to be our Super Metroid Dash Randomizer Quad Race, featuring MM2 NES cartridge versus Derp versus DJ Webb versus Zeb. It's going to be a fantastic quad race. Glove and Sloters on commentary for that. And again, donate using !donate in chat. Safe in Our World is a mental health charity for the gaming community, and they have a bunch of amazing resources. Go back and watch the opening ceremonies for some of them. right here on Speed Gaming. We're done with Sector 6. You know, we got that Varia suit, but things might be getting a little bit chilly here
Indeed.
for Flash and Samus pretty soon.
What a Flashfrost reference.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. That was well done, an unintentional pun. I didn't even realize that. Professional broadcaster, folks, unintentionally still great. Just saying. But we're going to Arc next. Things are gonna get cold. Tell us about it.
All right, so with Flash obviously being Flashfrost, he's gonna feel at home in Sector 5 because Sector 5 is a cold sector, the first of its kind in the Metroid series.
Yeah, all cold. It's very interesting.
It's funny because it's technically the first in the series alongside Phendrana Drifts because, again, Fusion and Prime released on the same day. Yeah, we'll be heading into Sector 5 where we'll be getting a bit of a more peculiar upgrade. We're going to be getting ice missiles. And ice missiles are this game's ice beam, even though this game technically does have ice beam. Because
just like barely get any use out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. something with the story, allegedly Samus's new cellular makeup after the Metroid vaccine makes it so that her suit would reject ice beam, something like that. And to substitute for ice beam, we get ice missiles instead, which I do not like. I don't like ice missiles.
It's sad because like they are well, okay, this is like controversial, which is very funny. Like I see both, but they're technically supposed to be an upgrade because their damage is better than super missiles, but you can't, like, all these enemies that you're gonna see Flash just like shoot a super into and just kill it instantly with ice missiles. For some odd reason, no matter what the damage is, it just always will freeze them. So even if you freeze an enemy and let it unfreeze, and then you can just do the same thing again and just keep like repetitively freezing it forever. You have to just because you do that in that fashion, you have to do 2 missiles. So it's it can go both ways if you see it as an upgrade or not.
I mean, it's a strict upgrade in terms of damage per second, but in terms of, you know, actually being a weapon, it's a downgrade.
Yeah. Though it does introduce some interesting potential strats, because you can so interesting thing about frozen enemies in this game is if you freeze it on the same frame in which you're running through an enemy, it doesn't really know what to do with you because you can't be in it while it's frozen, because it essentially just becomes like a wall block for all intents and purposes, and it'll just boost you forward a pixel in whatever direction your momentum's taking you.
Casters make really good use of that.
Real. Oh yeah, there's quite a few areas where you can pixel boost. Actually, in the Hundo run, I forget how many there is. There's like 3 or 4 areas you can pixel boost. It's really cool.
Unfortunately, we will not be seeing Flash pixel boosting because Flash is a frame donator.
Real.
He donates to the homies. We appreciate this, Flash. Alright, we now have our ice missiles, and somewhere in Sector 3, there's a dog in trouble, but we'll get there when we get there. Right now, we need to get this one item, and this item is it's evil.
Yeah, this room is very stinky. Oh, we got a good pattern though.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so yeah, the
textbook.
This room, what makes that room really stinky is once you commit to killing that bottom flapjack looking thing, I forget their actual name, but I just call them pancakes. I think they are shoots, but I just call them pancakes. Anyway, whenever you commit to killing that guy and it turns into the Ripper that you use to actually grab the missile pack, it won't respawn again. So if you mess up that jump and you aren't in contact with the Ripper anymore, you have to just reset the room and do the whole thing over again.
Yep.
I can't describe how many Hundo runs I've killed because of that, actually.
I think I reset in that room at least twice.
Oh, I've done it more than twice. Well, maybe not resetting, but I just like sigh and just continue playing. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna have to take this
Man.
20-second L and walk.
Yeah.
Goodbye, double yellows. We will be back later.
Oh, we will be back soon. All right, chat. You know the drill. There's an
Anybody that's seen
emergency.
this game before, you know the drill.
Yeah. There's an emergency
Frankersy.
in Frankersy. I want to see those dogs in chat. Right, so basically what's happening here is there's an ex-parasite mimicking a crew member, and they're fiddling with the boiler controls and basically overheating the station. And if the station gets too hot too quickly, it'll trigger the self-destruct bombs, which will blow the whole thing up.
Real. Have you ever let this animation play out? It's actually really funny.
Fun fact, the first time I played Fusion, I could not find the boiler room. And I actually let the
Unreal.
timer run out looking for it. So
Unreal.
yeah, I have seen the animation. It's very funny.
This section of the run is pretty interesting because in both any percent and hundo, this is like the first. Well, I guess you do a little bit more on hundo just because you're going out of your way to grab some more items, but this is intended to be the game's first like true skill check. You're supposed to know where you're going, and you're like, you know, obviously against the timer. So
Yeah.
but similarly, the movement in this is very cut and dry. You'll see basically any runner doing the same esque thing here to an extent. There's a few small optimizations, like there are basically everywhere else, but
In general, the movement in Emergency is pretty standard.
yeah, because it's also cool because this is like also the game kind of forcing you to use all your tools now, because now you have Varia because you're going through all these heated rooms, and you have ice missiles, so you can, you know, make platforms out of enemies such as that.
Yeah. Flash doing the boiler room better than me.
It's over. GG. The world famous
Okay.
3-beam. Oh, the 4-beam. You never see 4 beams on this door. Almost never.
Damn.
Even though every door has the same like RNG rolls, for some reason that one is like, it's very odd to see 4 beams on that door. We always
funny
joke
because-
with the world famous 3-beam because it's like so often you have like a decent emergency and then it
Mhm.
you just get 3 beams. It's like, oh man, it's like 10-second time loss.
Yeah. It's funny because even though all of the eye doors have the same RNG mechanics, every runner swears by their whole being that there's a door that's always kind to them and the door that's always very mean to them.
That is true. And it's interesting because they're all different. Like
Yeah.
between Darkspy and I, just right there, there's like, I'd say my most generous is probably between Zazabi and Nightmare. Those two are definitely usually really good for me.
My most generous door is by far Yakuza, which is a good one to have be generous.
Unreal. That one's odd for me. That one's like very 50-50. It's either pretty good or pretty bad. There's like hardly ever an in between.
My
But I'm always
worst eye
accounting
door?
for it with the rounds as well, so that makes it a
Yeah.
little different.
My most unkind eye door is definitely Speed. That door is never kind
yeah.
to me.
That's in my upper bracket of bad ones. I hate the speed door.
Mhm.
Which it's also interesting too because it's kind of following up to what you said with it being like every runner has different situations like with all the doors. I've always noticed that my speed door is worse when I have a good high jump time. Every time I get there after a good
yeah.
high jump time, it's always worse. As soon as I play bad, it's always nice to me. It's like, huh, that's
Huh.
interesting.
right, Chad. This is your hydration check. Make sure you hydrate. All right, now we're headed up to the main deck for the first time since we went into the sector hub, and I want to have a quick chat with Super Metroid speedrunners. You owe every single Fusion speedrunner a written apology and $5 for emotional damages.
Real.
Because you guys don't save the animals, they're now in the BSL, and they're our trouble to deal with and our time to lose.
Real. There's like a whole 3-minute segment of the run. We just have to go do this for the story, for the lore.
Mm-hmm.
But you're doing everyone a service by saving the animals.
Yeah, but they're always mean to me. They're always like biting
True.
and stuff. You know, they're always slow.
Wear long sleeves. What do you want me to? What do you want me to tell you?
I guess Samus kind of does have long sleeves, right? This is pretty close.
I mean,
I guess.
There's like exposed bits, but I
Sure.
mean, it's kind of close.
I mean, well, she has her right hand in a literal cannon, so I'd say she's
Decent.
well protected.
Yeah, but if
All
you
right,
could
so
kill
real
the
talk,
animals-
how do you
if
think
could
Flash
kill
is
the
doing
animals,
so
it would
far?
work.
He's doing all right. He's choked a couple things so far, but this is still a pretty decent hundo run so far.
Yeah, that's one of the things with the 100% category is it's because of just how long it is, and I can attest to this just because I've done it so many times. No matter how ahead or behind you are at any point in the run, it's like it always really does come down to the wire, namely cleanup, because of just how long. Like you just get cleanup in of itself is like whatever, like 20 to 30 minutes of just all movement, no text. So it's just like you always have a chance.
It's still another hour of the run to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that
Yeah.
long.
It sounds
been on
like a
both
great
halves of
time
that,
for your
personally.
host to take a nap. No, I'm kidding. Folks, we've been stagnant at this 393-pound thing for quite some time. I think we need to do something about that and change that.
It's actually
Real.
just true.
Exclamation point, donate.
gifters? All right.
Also, one other thing, and I apologize to the first couple of racers and speedrunners. Exclamation point R to give Flash a follow, and exclamation point C to follow the commentary team. So go do that. As Darkspy and Thunder here are going to tell us a little bit about why we have to go to Sector 5 to get these power bombs instead of using the data thing on the operations deck.
I will never understand that. I just don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's literally right there.
You're literally. It would actually just be objectively faster to go do that, and then like be told to go somewhere else, and then the whole power goes out thing. Like you could still
Right?
have came up with any other way.
Aussie, thank you for the raid. Speaking of Aussie, he'll be competing tomorrow night in the final part of the marathon.
Yo, Aussie.
Aussie the Fantastic. We're playing the SM Map Rando quad race tomorrow night. Oats and Goats versus Aussie versus Nitro versus Spiffy Thomas. Right now, it's Flash versus a little bit of RNG here, and versus the easiest sack skip of an entire speed run. Tell us about it, boys.
Oh, easiest. That's just objectively true. Easiest sack skip. You can actually, funny enough, you can actually do that sack skip in Sector 5 here. You can do that with not even triggering sacks at all whatsoever. Yo, it kind of throws you for a loop. Like, you'd have to actually just experiment with it to know this, but you can just use bombs to reveal the blocks you need to get out. But, classic Nintendo, it gives you a new item, so in your head you're like, oh, well, I gotta use new item right now, right? And that can come back to bite you. Especially if you're not ready for it, because the only hint that you know that it's there is you just hear like the ambiance music and it's like walking around, but
All right, so this item in specific, we'll be seeing Flash go for this strat, which is pretty standard. The optimal way would be, I believe, the wall jump.
Morph stall. But yeah, morph stall.
The morph stall.
Icky. Icky.
Gross. Gross. We will not be doing that.
Yeah, that's what's interesting with Hundo. Like basically every item has like a couple different ways you can go about getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's your sack skip. Didn't even know it was there. Holy cow. Yeah, like I was saying, there's a few ways to grab a lot of different items throughout the run, and it just kind of boils down to like, you know, what you want to do, what you're comfortable with. Because a lot of them are, obviously, as the faster some of the strats get, they just get like, in Honda specifically, they get like increasingly like, I think the difficulty curve is pretty exponential.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, there are quick ways of getting the items that aren't too hard to learn, but like the most optimal, it's going to save you, you know, the frames and like slight seconds here and there. They are actually just rather difficult. And usually they have like a very high risk reward ratio of like, yeah, if I mess this up, I might just kill my run. But, you know,
Yeah, it's true.
Those are the risks you have to take once you get to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
I am unfortunately there. Sad.
I have terrible memories with this room. I used to struggle doing this room a lot.
Watching Dark Spy do this room was always so funny because I would always just watch him do it the wrong way. I would be like, "Oh yeah, just change this." Then all of a sudden, it was just instantly fine.
Oh, you saved my life. I remember the first run I did after you told me to change the way I did the room. Instant 40-second time save in this segment.
Oh yeah, because didn't you screw it up like twice or something? Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that room's another one of those. Like as you saw with what Flash had to do there. If you fall through those crumble blocks, there is no other way. You just have to go all the way back and do the whole puzzle again.
True.
Yo, bang! New strat alert.
We need that.
So keep in mind that was our
Next
second
text.
visit to Sector 5. We will be back. I don't know what the obsession was with just using Sector 5 all the time.
I mean, I
Just
don't
to beat the
necessarily
game out,
mind
you have
it.
to go there 3 times. It's like, what?
Mm.
Yo, high rage.
Yo, running rage.
Ronning Rage. Fusion Runner. Has played ZM. Also does Banjo Kazooie. I love Banjo Kazooie runs. Awesome.
As you know, it's like I said during the 80% tournament when I commentated that. Fun fact, Sector 3 during an 80% run is the only sector you come back to 3 times in an 80% run. Every other sector is twice.
Mm-hmm.
So why do they have to use Sector 5 3 times? I don't know, but didn't one of you say earlier that it was showing off the first ever cold area in Metroid?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sector 5 and Phendrana Drifts were the first 2 cold areas in Metroid.
Mhm.
Dedicated cold areas. It's kind of interesting. I like the concept.
Yeah.
We
Especially
got a
with just the
$10
piece of
donation, by the
area.
way, from Dark Spy.
Yo!
Thank you, Dark Spy. Again, if you want to donate to this great cause, ! Donate. One more run tonight, and it's going to be a quad race. Super Metroid Dash Randomizer quad race. MM2 NES cartridge versus Derp versus DJ Webb versus Zeb. But, I'm not going to lie, boys. I like to call this portion of Metroid Fusion the boss rush.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
56 minutes in. Time to see what Flash can do to execute this boss rush portion. Talk to us about it.
Alright, so in-house, in the community, we usually call it the Gauntlet. It's a very interesting and personally very fun portion of both the 80% and 100% routes where you fight 3 bosses in very quick succession. So first we're going to fight Yakuza. A couple minutes after that we're going to fight Metroid. And a couple minutes after that we're going to fight Nightmare. So in the stretch of like, I'd say 10 minutes, you fight 3 bosses. All of them with their own intricacies and strats that you have to know to beat them efficiently.
Yeah, it's interesting too because you're getting very substantial upgrades at this point now because we'll get Space Jump, Plasma Beam, and Grav all in quick succession, and they're all like kind of huge in terms of speedrun movement. Was it 2 or 3 beams? I was like,
I think that was
no
2.
bueno. I'm a big beam enjoyer. So, opening this fight, you saw Flash doing max height jumps and shooting some missiles. Because Yakuza is technically in the arena and on screen, you can get a few shots in there early. And actually got a 1 round. There's a big RNG element to this fight, which is how many times it'll basically waft around the screen before you can actually shoot it, and it makes itself vulnerable again. Flash got the most optimal one, so it was kind of quick.
Yeah. Now, if you're a really good speedrunner like Thunder, and you go for a strat we call quick 1 round, you actually run the risk of getting max 5 rounds instead of 4.
Yeah. I don't even know. It's like, you're definitely not intended to do it, but you can because interesting thing with Yakuza's movement is it always wants to come towards you at any given point in time, so you can kind of slightly take advantage of that, and it does that in both the first phase and the second phase, so you can kind of take advantage to an extent because you'll know it's going to come to the left or right, but then the matter of how much, like in second phase for example, like the matter of how much it's going to jump is the kind of the unknown. But if you at least know it's going to the right, you can kind of just dump some missiles to the right side somewhere and just kind of pray. Done that quite a few times. Oh, now this part. This is the mandatory sack skip built into the game. I remember being stuck here as a kid for a very long time. This was actually just insanely difficult to me.
Yeah. Back when I was a dumb 5-year-old, this specific sack sequence was challenging. Finding that missile block that you're supposed to shoot out took me literal days.
Yeah.
Like, I only started school when I was 6, so I would spend my waking hours playing Fusion, trying to figure that stuff out, and it took me like 4 or 5 days to find that stupid missile block.
I think I remembered finding that decently quick once I finally made it through safely because I just was like, spamming power bombs or whatever, but
oh yeah.
Even then, just getting through it, especially after Yakuza, because I remembered when I died, I didn't know about the save room that you get from the auxiliary power.
Same.
So I had to fight Yakuza again, and it already took me like forever to get through Yakuza because I was just like so brutal as a kid.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Flash is obliterating Notori.
Oh, Hundo Strat, my beloved.
Yeah, with 100%, you have so many missiles at this point that you can just get in Notori's room and, just pummel it with missiles willy-nilly.
Yeah, there's no fear of running short of missiles at this point in time, so you can kind of just go crazy.
That's what we need. Hang on.
Which is interesting because you have basically all the tools at your disposal against Notori specifically. You can pseudo screw it, power bomb it, charge beam it, missile it. You got all kinds of stuff in the bag. Yo, the hidden recharge room. Bet a bunch of people didn't know that was there.
I am formally requesting that Flash be booted from the charity because he is using a altered ROM of Fusion. That recharge room is not there. It's fake.
Non-believers think that is just not in the game, the base vanilla game.
We have a Metroid Fusion ROM hacker in chat. They can confirm or deny the existence of this recharge room. Real.
Similar to what I said before, we're just gonna grab a few items here. This is that item specifically can be grabbed later in cleanup. I forget. I want to say doing it now is like ever so slightly faster. It's like less than half a second or something like that if you do it optimally. And it's just same thing. Like, I know some runners that do it before or after this point in time, and it's just kind of at this point it just becomes personal preference. Because I will say I have changed route a few times for singular items in 100%, and it is very hard to remember until you like do enough runs of it.
I mean, I can't really comment on that because my Hondo route is just whatever you do. So,
Well, at least you picked it up after I did those changes.
true.
It's good now.
For context, chat, most of the stuff I do in Fusion in any given category was either shown to me or taught to me by Thunder.
Bro stole my whole flow.
That's actually, I mean, you were the one who popped into my stream one random evening and said, "You are learning charge levels right now."
Real. That's actually a true story. That is how Darkspine and I met. I popped into his chat because he was he was like chatting in the Fusion Discord for a little bit, talking about some wanting to speedrun and blah blah blah. So he like hopped on his stream, started practicing Fusion, and I saw him like just do the charge core fight. Very interesting. And I said, no, we're learning this the right way right now.
That was the start of a very long journey.
Oh, the mega space or the mega speed boost need.
That is the longest shine
Spark
spark
of all
in the
time.
game. Yo, fun fact, chat. We call this room mini fridge.
Yeah, this is mini fridge.
I've never checked in Randovania, but I hope that they kept that name in Randovania.
I thought I've seen a mini fridge in the naming scheme somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure if it's definitely that room. It should be.
It probably is.
I know. I forget what the one on the right side of Ice Missiles is. Big fridge. I don't know.
Big
It's
fridge.
basically the same type of thing. It is just bigger.
All right, Flash better be showing me something in that one room. He knows exactly what I'm talking about if he's listening.
Holy cow. So yeah, similarly, grabbing all these items here now, because whenever we cut back through Sector 5 later in cleanup, we'll be in the upper half of the sector, so it would just be a very long way out of the way to come back down this way.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of Sector 5,
Man.
Sector 5 is pretty big, actually,
I'm disappointed.
horizontally. It is a rather big sector.
That is true. I'm disappointed Flash didn't do the correct strat.
Man. Should have known better.
Man. Alright, Nightmare. Nightmare has a few cool bits about it. Namely, the way you do the opener determines how you do the second phase, essentially. Because where Nightmare flies off to is determined, number one, by Samus's position, number two, by how long you take to destroy the gravity manipulator. Oh, okay.
Oh, of course he doesn't want to settle. Yeah,
Okay.
knowing the manip on this is very odd sometimes, because Nightmare essentially behaves like a Core X does, but sometimes because it's like, I don't know, something about the cores, they move a little more like, you can kind of predict it a little better and like manip it, but sometimes you try to do the same esque thing with Nightmare and it just like kind of moves around really jank. I think it's something to do with how big he is.
Mhm.
And I actually don't know what like the center point of his You know what I mean? Like where he's like trying to follow you from. Like if it's his face, I would assume it's his face.
I assume it's the face, because the face is the vulnerable part.
Yeah.
Also, something we figured out is that... Ooh, okay, Flash getting away with murder there.
Yeah, I was that was really close. That guy hits you, you don't get a spark here.
Yeah. Another thing with Nightmare is that if you enter the room facing left, the way Nightmare goes is random, but if you enter facing the right, it's set.
Yeah, then it's all just determined on what frame you kill the gravity manipulator on the opener. It was a very interesting thing to figure that out. And why it's like that, I don't really know if we ever got like a true answer. It just kind of is like that for some odd reason.
I could look, but by the time I found the answer, it will already be like in Wave Beam.
Drew. Now I remember Res / Biospark. There are two the heavy hitters in the task land and Fusion. They have found quite a number of things out about this game. I remember they looked into it and confirmed that that is the case, and the reasoning is kind of just like, yeah, it just kind of is like that. It's goofy, but it just is. Yo, hit the block. Better than me.
It's something to do. I might be misremembering, but I believe it has something to do with Nightmare having other like movement patterns that weren't actually coded into the game. So when you enter facing the left, it just defaults to choosing between either a good or bad pattern that you usually don't see if you enter facing the right. It was something like that.
Yeah, it's odd.
Fusion's code is interesting.
How did you used to always say it? It's being held up by like duct tape and
What, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I usually say that it's held together by chewing gum and duct tape.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, see. That's just objectively true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made sure you can't sequence break though. Except for on the English version, because that was the first one to release, and it had a number of issues in that regard, because you can clip out of bounds. Sadly, unable to do it in the Japanese version, but the Japanese version is so much faster, we'll take it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the only reason why we don't play in the infamous Chinese version is because of availability.
Yeah, it's very hard to get.
Because we have people who run on actual hardware and actual cartridges, so since it's so hard to get, it would be unfair to them for us to run in the Chinese version.
Okay, so this is a really hard trick coming up. Let's see if Flash can get it.
Let's see.
Oh, like that was like just barely too short. So what you want to do here is you're gonna spark through this Kago that's in the way, and ideally you get low enough to where you can store it on the other side, which, yeah, there we go. Oh, we got a good pattern from the shot as well.
Oh!
Yeah, it's tight. This is a very tight trick. But you got the first half of it, essentially, because you got through the Kago and then was able to get that first item. Because that's namely what you are restoring for, is for those speed blocks right there. Otherwise, you have to kind of run to the left and right like you just did right there.
Oh, I know why the developers thought it was a good idea to include ridiculous rooms in this game, like the room after Oasis, and then those blocks, and there are some other infamous rooms in this game that are just ridiculously difficult to get.
Oh yeah, there's a number of those. They definitely make you work for it. If you are like a big connoisseur of and you have like a completionist mindset when you play games like this, they definitely make you work for 100% in this game.
Of course. All right, the fusion missiles picked up. we're coming to the end of the run. Time for a little cleanup portion, if I'm not mistaken, here before we get to Xbox. You see Flash picking that up. Now head to Xbox 2. Alright, real quickly. 400 plus pounds raised so far for Safe in Our World. Let's go. All should be proud of yourselves. Let's raise some more. Let's see if we can get to 500 before the end of this race. And again, one more race tonight coming up. The map it's not the map rando, that's tomorrow night. Dash rando tonight. Quad race. MM2 versus Derp versus Zeb versus DJ is going to be a ton of fun. And, you know, something that I have talked about in the last couple is this is a safe space. We're literally talking about mental health. And we'll get into some of the questions for the commentators and Flash afterwards. But, folks, if you need to talk to somebody, if you just want to say some stuff in chat about your own experiences with anything mental health related, if you want to get something off your chest, if you know somebody that has some mental health struggles, chat away in chat. This is literally a mental health marathon to raise money for a mental health charity. Just know this is a big, safe space for all of you. So, with that being said, I see a bunch of Fusion people hanging out in the Twitch chat. What's up, Fusion folks? We're back here in Sector 6. And, the security robot is back. What was Flash gonna do about it, boys?
You have to just take it out once and for all.
Mm-hmm.
Kill
it forever. So, basically, this part of Fusion is... Samus kills Nightmare, is trapped inside lower 4, has to unlock the level 4 locks, which are the higher sensitivity locks, to be able to exit and not rot forever in lower 4. Adam gets pissed about it. He tells us to go to Sector 6, because the security robot is, you know, doing some stuff there. And we get to Sector 6. Adam basically tells us, look, kill the robot, get out, the SAX is after you. All right, Thunder. What do you think about the Xbox fight? You're a bit of an expert.
I just love the Xbox fight. It's awesome. It's actually pretty hard. It's one of the harder fights to optimize in this game, actually. So, essentially, you're just pelting it with missiles, but there's like a sequence to it to where you can kill it slightly faster. It saves about 3 seconds. We just call it Quick Kill Xbox because we are very clever individuals. But
we are very original.
Yeah, real. But if you don't know, now you know. There's a ladder in the top of this room, so you can use this to kind of work around Xbox and evade its wave missile shots. But
fun fact: when I was a kid, I did not know about that ladder.
Ooh, nice lag.
Ooh.
So as you can tell, it's like, so the thing that makes this fight awkward is the hitbox on Xbox is like very janky. Like sometimes you'll shoot a missile and like you'll go back in like a frame by frame if you're like ever looking at a speedrun or something, and it's like looks like it hit it, but then it actually doesn't. It's like very odd. It's just one of those. I think it has something to do with like it like moving around constantly, because it does like a little animation before it like prepares to jump or shoot its wave missiles, etc. But now, also, this core can be doubled. Flash didn't go for it because it's very, very difficult. Involves a frame perfect spin shot into another shot, which is pretty tight. There's only a handful of runners that actually go for it. I'd be one of them, but.
And because of that, I owe you an apology.
Real, yeah, it's all Darkspy's fault. I was just practicing wave doubles one day. I was like hitting them a little bit, and then Darkspy was just like, you know, I've been watching you do these for a while. I think, you know, if anyone's gonna get pretty consistent at them, it'd probably be you. And fast forward, that's kind of the case. I just like hitting them all the time now. Man,
and just to just earlier, Thunder got a double-double in his race against Scotty for the tournament.
Yeah.
Flash, my
I was
hero,
pretty surprised,
live
to be
Metroids. All right, Thunder, lock in. We got to call the pattern.
All right, yeah, we gotta see what this lab pattern is. Let's see.
Let's have a look.
What's
this is
the
easy.
right center?
This looks like a conventional for me.
No, the one on the bottom right was against the wall. Yep, I was right center.
Right center
Yeah.
vertical. Man,
Bang, the money. Let's go.
damn. All right, for those of you in
Oh,
chat,
man.
for those of you in chat who are unaware, there's a ROM hack of Fusion that was that went into open beta this year called Advanced Reverse Boss Order, developed by Radley Vance. It basically lets you beat Fusion in mostly whichever order you want. But the goal of it is to let you beat the game in RBO. And to do so, you need to escape the lab using nothing but bomb jumps, infinite bomb jumps. And that Metroid room has 32 patterns.
Yeah.
So
for some
we
odd
gave
reason.
them, we gave them a bunch of different names based on where you have to do the bomb jumps from. And so we basically took it upon ourselves to, in every Fusion related event, just see what pattern it is for funsies.
Yeah, because there's so many of them. That actually kind of surprised me when Radley kind of like brought that up, just talking about like when he was like developing RBO and looking into it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, there's 32 patterns in this room." I was like, are you actually kidding me? That's just like ridiculous. We have to reset the room. You got the slow. We got the slow. You got the slow spawn with the guy. There it is. Yeah.
That's what you're
So
like.
yeah, this puzzle is a little odd. You're supposed to just keep letting the X respawn into different enemies multiple times in order to unlock the door. But there's a few things with that room. So in that case, the power bomb was just slightly early, so it wasn't fully spawned on the Garuba yet. But it is possible for that X that's meant to spawn the Garuba to just infinitely flow around in circles, like around where it's supposed to go to actually spawn it. It's very jank, but it's one of those fusion things. It has actually happened to me before, and it sucks because the only way you can fix that is resetting the room, which is just time wasted. Man, couldn't end on a no beam. Man,
Dude. But
well, good news, Ghidorahs are out of the game now. That was the last one.
Yeah.
Turn up your volume, chat, instantly.
Oh, we need.
You got to hear this.
We just need all the volume. Holy cow!
Gotta say this. All reliable, stay in the corner. There it is. Let's go. There's a few ways to go about fighting Ridley. It's we've recently came up with a semi-standardized way of doing.
Oh, Flash!
Triple double, insane triple double. Holy
Damn!
cow. Let's go. That was huge. Those doubles are really hard. Those doubles are so hard.
Alright, now into my favorite part of Hundo, cleanup. Mostly because I get to hear Crisis Mission for 20 minutes.
Bro's favorite track. Holy cow.
Yep. I love this song.
You know what I like even more than the base Crisis Mission though is the one that the rework on YouTube. So good. What's his name? Oh, Cassil. Cassil did a rework
Cassil.
of all of the tracks from the Fusion soundtrack, and they are so good.
Mm-hmm.
If we ever get a remake, Nintendo, please hire this guy.
Hire bro. And bro's also an absolute governor because he allows people to use his work as long as he's credited.
Real goat.
Actual governor for that.
Big fan for that.
Alright, real quick, sorry, don't mean to cut you both off. Twitch chat, aren't they doing a great job of commentary? Get some thumbs up in the Twitch
Questionable.
chat if they are. I also want to know what you all think, folks, about this event. I pitched it for all of you. I'm curious what you all think now that it's here, and you know, I said this in our racer commentary Discord that you know, I was excited and nervous about this because you know I spent 2.5 months planning this thing, and it seems to be doing, you know, it's going well so far. At least I think so. What do you both think?
I mean, I think we should be doing stuff like this more often. They're hard to plan though, so I do commend your effort for putting this stuff like this together. I think these are
One,
really cool.
don't tempt me because you know I will.
Fair enough.
Two, sometimes listen, I had to corral like 20 racers, and sometimes it felt like I was what's the most polite way so no one gets pissed at me? Corralling sheep.
that's actually just accurate though. That's actually just accurate.
With all due respect to a lot of the racers, but again, you know, it's like 20 racers or whatever, and everyone has their own lives, and tons of discords, and tons of pings, and you know, chat's saying herding cats. My racers are not cats. I like to have you know they're more soft and fluffy and adorable like sheep.
Real big fluffy sheep.
In this house, we're sheep.
They a bunch of softies. So yeah, we're over 400 pounds raised for Safer No World. Flash is going through the cleanup phase, and I will say that Ridley fight was so clean. The triple doubles, was absolutely beautiful.
That triple double was crazy hard.
Yep. So appreciate all of you
when you get it though.
Yep. Chat is all about loving this event. Again, one more event tonight before we close it out here on a Friday night, and we start up again tomorrow morning, 11:45 a.m. Flash, come on!
Almost got the Space Move started.
Oh, that would have been pretty to show off.
That's one of those. It's like, at least this one doesn't just outright kill your run if you mess it up. It's just like whatever. It's just a very slight time loss, but I respect him for going for it.
I will say, Flash set 2 PBs in preparation for this marathon for 100%. I mean, Flash came close from what was it, like a 30+ second PB the other day when he was coming close to you, Dark Spy?
What? Sorry?
Wasn't Flash like almost 30 seconds ahead of his PB, just coming close and knocking you off the leaderboard?
Yeah, the first PB he got in preparation for this marathon, entering cleanup, he was on pace to beat my PB.
Yep. Comfortably.
Oh, this is a good question. Chat wants to know how to donate. ! Donate.
There it is.
And again, it's in British pounds. The only reason it's in British pounds is Safe in Our World is a UK-based nonprofit. And obviously, being based in the UK, that is based in pounds. So just be mindful of the conversion factors. That's all. But yeah, I know even if you can't afford to donate, that's okay. You're here, you're supporting it, and we greatly appreciate all of you. And Dark Spy and Thunder, appreciate both of you hopping in and doing commentary. Been great to listen to you. Dark Spy, one of these days, you and I are going to have a chance to do commentary. One of these days, we are.
We need that.
That's like the long-awaited one. I've been waiting for that one. Like, genuinely. You and Flash got to do one, right? The WX fan? So, like, yeah, you guys have
did we?
I thought you did. Did you?
Think so? I'm not sure.
Not that I'm aware of.
Maybe I'm misremembering. Flash does so many of them, I always, like, forget.
No, but absolutely.
Flash and Yem have done a couple.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they definitely have. Yeah.
If there's another tournament soon-ish, we absolutely have to get in a commentary booth, like the two of us. That would be so fire.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, there's Radley wants us not for any percent, not for a rando, and not for 100%. He wants us for RBO.
I am so down for that.
Oh, that'd be a cool showcase thing to do. You do all the various categories of fusion or something. That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be so up for that.
Oh, that would be a fun one. I mean,
Yeah,
Thunder, don't you have pull with the fusion admins? I mean, we can make that happen.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm not a fusion admin, but I'm pretty close with a handful of them, so I can probably
Exactly.
put a word in.
Yo,
Like, we could do a showcase.
I think that would
Yeah.
be awesome, especially with RBO now. And then you'd have like, yeah, what you could do.
Can literally end with RBO being the newer
Yeah,
category
you
and
could do
tease
any
it the
percent
entire
under
time.
1%, RBO, Mappo, Rando. You could do all kinds of stuff.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
it sounds like we're coming up with new ideas here, but folks, don't go anywhere. We're coming up on the end of the speed run, and you know, there's still a lot to discuss here. And I want to throw it to you guys. Question for both of you:
yeah.
as speedrunners of this game, you both have run the 100% category.
Mm.
How nerve-wracking is the cleanup portion of this game compared to
Oh,
every
it's
other portion
so-
of the entire run?
It's
Very.
so bad. It's
It's
so
really
bad.
Speaking for myself, there's a few strats that are specific to cleanup that every time I play Hundo, I'm like, okay, now's the time I do these strats. But then I enter cleanup in a good pace, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do these strats because if I try and fail, I'm gonna lose all my time.
Real.
And yeah, like cleanup is very nerve-wracking because it's just 20 to 25 minutes of nothing but straight up gameplay. There's no pauses for text, no pauses for elevators. It's just you, your controller, and Samus.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's definitely nerve-wracking, especially like. At least you could say that much, Dark Spy. You're at a point still you can kind of like decide whether or not you go for certain strats. But for me, for example, namely Sector 6, there's a couple high-level strats in there that are very run-killing if you mess them up. And like I'm at a point now where I just have to go for them because I either did them in my PB or that's what my time save is reflective of. So I just like can't risk not going for it. And every time I get to him, I'm just like, please let me just do this, please.
Yeah.
I'm begging.
Yeah, I figured like the more I've seen like Flash practice and I've seen 100% runs, this just seems like the biggest, not like in terms of technicality, but in terms of like the mental aspect of it. Did I get all the items? Did I not get all the items? Did you leave an item? I was doing comms for Anthony and Sunwoo. They took part in a Super Metroid co-op complete-a-thon. And when we were doing our practice runs of comms on the actual race, it's like, did you get that item? No, I thought you got that item. And it ended up being a couple of practices of, just under 100%. They had all but one item, so it was like 99%. But then the race comes and it's like, 100%.
Yeah.
Executed complete. So it just seems like the actual item cleanup and anything completion does seem like one of the more interesting mental aspects of a 100% run.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like for me, like what was it? The 100% tournament last year when I raced Monkey, I legitimately forgot an item in lower sector 4, and it cost me like a ton of time because it was just like all the way back at red doors, and I just was like, well, I might as well just go back and get it now because I remember it. So I just went ahead and grabbed it, and it just lost me like a minute and a half. It's like, well, there goes that one.
Yeah, Flash, I know. This is one of the rooms I don't like either. It's okay.
Yeah, this room's really hard. This room's
Yeah.
actually really hard.
Dude,
You
that
went for
room
the
optimally is
space
very
boost
difficult.
entering too, which is
I
the,
didn't realize there were 2
afterlife.
items in that room.
Yeah.
So, alright. About 10 to 15 minutes left, boys. Take it away.
All right. In terms of like we were saying, cleanup is a very nerve-wracking portion of 100%. But I would say, for me personally, the segment I like the least in cleanup is Sector 6.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence of whether or not I don't like Sector 6 as much as Sector 2. Because, like, Sector 6 feels so good to get right. But
It does.
it's also, like, the most... well, see, that's the thing. It's like, When you want to go in terms of like what's the most punishing too, it's like hard. It's hard to determine because I've definitely killed more in Sector 2 than I have in Sector 6.
Mhm.
So
Sector 6, too, funnily enough, it feels like it takes forever, and it's only a 4-minute segment.
yeah, that's what's interesting about all of these splits while you're going through the cleanup portion. They're all like actually a lot faster than you'd think. They're like basically just added segments to like the base run, but they just feel like so long because there's no break in like movement since you don't have any text sequences or any like cutscenes or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Sector 6 in particular has like a ton of tech involved with it.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Acid room skip. Oh!
Barely was just too far. Fell off the ledge. Alright, that should do.
There it
Bang!
is. So fire. Oh.
I keep forgetting to teach him the thingy,
the spring ball.
Awesome spring ball.
Chat pointing out something extremely true. Worst part about cleanup is Sector 4, because if you have to do Sector 4 cleanup, you did something very wrong.
That is actually true. I didn't even think about that, but that is true. Yo, space boost, hang on. Oh, barely hitting that. I'm surprised that actually hit that.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised as well. That's odd.
At least that one was like the first one. It was quick. It wasn't like he got the rest of it. So, running all the way back after doing the whole thing.
This room, some call it Killer Highway. Some call it Loser Highway. I call it piece of fucking garbage that took me 2 weeks to figure out as a kid.
Real. That's actually just true. It's so bad. There's like no. That's one of those rooms. It's like the puzzles. It's like there's no indication of how to do it. It's literally just trial and error until you get it right. It's so odd.
And the reason it took me so long was, number one, I was a dumb 5-year-old. Number two, I never thought to use bombs.
Oh yeah, that's the first time I ever got there. The first thing I did was lay a power bomb, and I was like, well, that kind of cooks that, right? But so what you saw Flash trying to do in that room though was if you go through the top of the door, if you bonk right as you're going through the door transition there in a space boost, and you do a downward angled R shot, which is if you're holding a charge and you have missiles that can be equipped, and you press R to activate the missile, it'll just shoot your beam, but it won't make you break spins. So you'll keep all of like your movement speed, etc. And if you hit the shot right, it just barely won't hit that first pillar that you saw that came up vertically. It won't hit that one. So you can just proceed through the rest of the room and grab the item, and you'll already have that first one taken care of. So it makes it just a little bit quicker. But that's a really hard strat, actually. I only picked that up like the last time I actually grinded Hundo a little bit. That was when I started maining that. Very hard strat.
Yeah. Sector 2.
It's hard. It's just hard.
It's hard, but it's an odd one for me because I kind of like it. But then Zazabi Speedway exists, and I don't care for Zazabi Speedway.
Yeah, Zazabi Speedway is stinky room. Not a fan.
It's funny because one of the harder tricks in cleanup is the speed keep, which you basically only do in Zazabi Speedway. I do it in my 100% easy and 100% hard PvEs, but I don't do it in my 100% normal.
Yo, bang. Yeah, Sector 2 is odd. Like, it has some really neat tech in it. There's like a few different ways to go about some of these rooms, but it's definitely not as tech heavy as Sector 6.
Oh no, definitely not. Where are we going?
We'll get there eventually, trust. Bang.
Yeah.
See?
There it is.
Okay, that was an interesting Tuskegee spot.
That why?
I don't know
Why
if I've
was
ever seen it that far to the left. Interesting.
okay? Why was Bro even there?
They just kind of go where they feel like it. They're a little odd.
Yes,
was it
Flash.
red?
Damn, that red is crazy work. I
If
don't think
only
I've
it
ever
served any purpose.
yeah, it really doesn't.
Yeah. We did get the crumble jump in that room as well. You can jump off of crumble blocks, actually. If, I think it's the same frame, it breaks, you jump off of it. I do know it's frame perfect input.
It is.
Yeah, you can crumble jump. We call it crumble
I don't
jumping. You can
know-
just jump off of it.
I don't know if it's frame perfect in Super as well, but I have
thought
noticed.
so.
I have noticed I hit crumble jumps a lot more consistently in Super than I do in Fusion.
Maybe it has a slightly bigger window. I don't know.
I'm not
I actually
sure.
have no idea. I don't speedrun
If there-
SM, so very unaware.
If there are any SM players in chat who would like to let these Fusion plebs know about that,
Real.
What's the question for the Super Metroid fans out there?
if crumble jumping is frame perfect or not in SM.
It might be. I
I'll
don't
just
know.
put it this
seems
way:
like it's easier.
crumble jumping sucks no matter what game it's in. Yeah, I said it.
Well, that's also true.
Yeah, no, that is true. Definitely.
Derp
not frame
says it's
perfect,
not
okay.
frame perfect.
Okay. Interesting. Well, yeah, we know
Yeah.
for a fact in this game it's frame perfect, but
Mhm.
which kind of checks with the degree of consistency that comes along with it as well.
Are they frame perfect in ZM as well?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't really
checks.
do it in DM either, though. Kind of odd.
Zero
Oh,
missions. Such
easy
an
money. Let's
interesting
go.
game.
This room.
Nice
this room,
room,
is
Flash.
super punishing.
Yeah, very clean Sazabi Speedway.
That was clean. The slightest.
Folks, that,
misinput in that room, hooked.
Folks, that 403 is looking a little lonely. It's time we donate some more money to help
That's
its
actually
help
true.
its mental health out. Let's go! Exclamation point! Donate. Let's raise. I want to get at least $500 raised tonight before tomorrow.
Surely, trust.
Oh,
Let's make it
we
happen,
trust the
chat.
process. We trust the process.
Those E-tanks look good. I don't think. Definitely didn't miss anything.
No,
I would have
definitely
probably
not.
noticed, despite me not being a.
You missed
Hundo
about
main.
400 more powerbomb packs for no bleeping reason in this game.
Well, that is
Uh,
true.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, one time I it's actually a lot harder than you think. It was quite the challenge to make this happen. But anybody that's ever watched me do runs, they know I like to finish my runs with 9 missiles, 9 power bombs. I tried to do that in Hondo one time, and I did do it, but it was really difficult. I was basically placing a power bomb every single opportunity I could in cleanup.
Yo, we got JRP.
The
in chat.
legend in the Twitch chat, JRP, is
Yo.
joining the Twitch chat. What's up,
Yo,
JRP?
Not only did JRP invent every single strat in Fusion, he also invented Fusion.
Real. that is the glorious creator. There he is.
Invented Metroid.
Hi, Jorp.
Yeah. Hi, JRP.
Bring us Magoo. Bring us Magoo.
Bring us Magoo. Bring us Daisy.
Real.
All right, that powerbomb tank that Flash got from behind the Super Giron should have been the final item. I'm positive Flash didn't miss anything throughout the run, so we only have 2 things to do now. It's yap with Adam for a bit, and then kill Sax and get out.
Real. Yeah, this is the longest tech sequence in the game. It's basically Samus just getting grilled.
Basically, Samus being told, You're stupid. The Federation are on their way. Deal with it.
You know, this is an interesting mechanic, and I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you both off, but I really think it's interesting, especially showcasing a 100% run here on Speed Gaming. What the bleep is tech smashing, and why is it so important to a run?
Oh, well, the thing with text infusion is that you can't just literally mash buttons for the text to advance, so you need to hold down a button for the text to scroll faster, and then you need to time another button to advance to the next text box. However, you can't just keep holding the button to advance the text and then press the other button to advance it. These have to be independent clicks, and they have to be separated by a number of frames. It's a bit tricky.
Text is hard. I don't like text.
I don't like text
The
either.
good news, we have a ROM hack that gets rid of the text. Awesome. Fastest fusion. Also gives perfect RNG. My beloved.
That's a double. That, I'm not
I
sure.
think so.
That's definitely not. Ooh, what? Yeah.
Oh, that second one didn't hit. I'm surprised.
That's it.
really
That's
thought it did.
interesting.
Still a clean sax fight nonetheless.
Yeah. Despite that.
Propulsion sequence activated.
All right, now you have 3 minutes to escape the station before it collides with the nearby planet.
Propulsion sequence activated. Destination.
Imagine Samus goes into the office. Well, so what'd you have up? What plans did you have this weekend? Oh, you know, just killing Mother Brain, killing Ridley, couple planets, blew them up. Yeah, it was all right.
It's actually true. Ooh, okay.
The classic Metroid escape sequence.
I really hope Metroid Prime 4 has at least one escape sequence.
Real.
Quintessential.
Low height for the one time. Yo,
Oh, no way, yo!
Low height
My
for the
man,
one time.
my
Yo!
man! My man!
Hey, let's go.
Ooh, I needed that.
Oh, no pogo. Sad.
Pogo, Sag. Yo,
If you get up behind Omega there and you're like space jumping in the far corner, it can actually hit you, but it kind of gets stuck in the animation it does whenever it jumps back after swiping you, and it'll just like do that like really hard against the ground. It looks like it's on a pogo stick. It's really funny.
Yo, Thunder,
Oh, there's
apparently,
our confirmation. We got all the items.
yeah, apparently JRP found a strat that makes Fusion playable, but I can't remember.
Oh, GG. Looks like we're all cooked. Bad. And that is a GG.
That is GG indeed.
And that
we have
is Metroid Fusion 100%.
in 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 51 seconds.
That's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Should be what it was. Is this the fabled 110?
Ooh, it might be. It might just be. Yo, so true, JRP. Flash, press the button.
Yes.
So true. Yeah. Yo, Flash.
Holy cow! Good run. GG's.
Yeah, GG.
No, oh, am I here? Okay, hi.
Yeah, you are.
But yeah.
I'm. So that was exactly 3 minutes behind my PB. That was the worst run I've had since I came back to Fusion 100%. So loved
Unreal.
it.
I
Run
mean-
was garbage.
I mean, you're laughing, so clearly you had a good time.
Oh, I did, especially because once I started getting like really far behind, right? I started to like what's its face? I started to take more risks with some of the harder tricks. I was like, might as well. This run was I'm happy. I was ahead at missiles. Missiles. And that was it.
Sounds like one of my runs. Holy cow.
So I feel a little bad because I wanted to put on a better showcase, but we got a sub 145 at least, so we'll be happy with that.
There's definitely some good elements to it throughout.
Oh, yeah. And I must admit, even though it wasn't constant, I kept looking down at my phone because there's this football game I'm keeping a score of, and so I kept looking. And
You
I
called it! You called it! Flash
Yeah.
was gonna be looking at the FSU
Oh my
game.
gosh, yeah, and we're losing right now, so like I am in a horrid mood. But you know what? I had a good time, so that's all that matters. Oh, just intercepted in the red zone. You know what? Let's talk Metroid. How's everyone doing today? First of all, an amazing cause, right, for the charity. Thank you all for supporting, obviously. Thank you to Dark Spy and Thunder for providing great commentary. I kept the chat up, so like I wouldn't hear reactions after the fact. And WX fan, I would hear reactions from y'all too. So I was already in another room, obviously, since the restream was behind. And I would hear like, oh, or like Dark Spy and Pain, oh. So I was like, yep, that's that room.
Spy a medic.
Yeah.
Medic.
It's a 110. There we go. You know what? We got the meme number. We got. You'll see it. Sorry, I'm looking at my game. The credits are still rolling here.
Oh, damn.
Oh, fun times.
This was definitely very fun to commentate. It's good. It's good to be commentating a fusion run played by a friend, and in such an event like this, promoting charity for mental health, which is something that I hold very dear.
For you.
Yeah, for sure. It really was. It really was good. Do y'all have any critiques on the run?
Do you
Flash,
really
don't
want
ask
an answer
questions
for
you
that?
Oh boy, that's encouraging.
Okay.
We did plug your couple of PBs during the run.
Yeah, it's funny. Like 3 days ago, I got a 141, 51. 141, 51. So there you go. See, nobody knew. It was a surprise all along. Yeah.
All right, you asked if we had any critiques. WX fan, how long do we have?
Oh boy.
You have about 2 to 3 minutes because we really need to move on to the quad race.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll just keep it short. One critique from both of you.
Well, it's hard because it was just like you said. It was just your worst run since you came back because you had really good cleanups the other day. I think you just used up all your gas on those.
I think Sector 6 was horrible. I'm happy Sector 2 went well, at least.
Yeah, Sector 2 was good.
Yeah. There you go.
You got first try Speedway, so that's huge.
There you go. See, some good stuff there. Yeah. Well, I don't want to take too long, but before we go, obviously things are running a little behind. WX fan, thanks for reaching out. Obviously, when it comes to like, mental health awareness and whatnot, like I've dealt with anxiety a lot. Believe it or not, I deal with OCD. Sometimes it flares up. Years ago, it's been really bad. I've been able to control it a lot, but like I get it. Things like that. I've seen a therapist for it many times in the past. It can be sometimes, what's the word I'm looking for? Like debilitating, even, So I appreciate something like this being brought to the public with video gaming, because I think a lot of us, deal with it, and there is a stigma still because a lot of people think it's a lot worse than it actually is, and sometimes, it's just our brain telling us things that we need to get over. We treat physical diseases some way. We got to treat what's going on up there the same way. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it, and everyone else donating, and obviously we want to see more people donate to the cause, so hopefully you do that. We got another day of this tomorrow, and I appreciate everyone getting this all together to make it work. I think it's great, and you get to see Metroid as well, which is great.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we're big Metroid fans around here.
Yeah.
So what I want to do for everybody, because this is still something that's extremely important, and I've already got the quad racers; they're already ready to go. One thing I want to do is, and I apologize, I don't mean to rush us along here, but Dark Spy, Flash, and Thunder, I want to hear from each of you, and you don't have to say anything if not. Dark Spy, I know you've talked about it a little bit during the race, maybe not as much from you. But if there's anything the three of you want to talk about in regards to mental health, now's your opportunity to do so. And after each of you take a turn, I'm going to wrap this up and we're going to head over to our final race of the night.
I mean, like I said during the race, I've struggled with and still do struggle with mental health, specifically with separation anxiety and ADHD. Fortunately, I've been able to, through therapy, avoid going into any medication, which for me is huge. I will never judge anyone who prefers to go into the medication route. Each person deals with their own issues, their own mental health problems in their own way. I personally prefer to avoid medication, but that's not possible for everyone. That said, it's really good to see awareness being raised, especially in gaming, but in the Metroid communities specifically, because Metroid is a series I hold very close to me. Metroid Fusion was the first video game I ever played. It's my favorite video game to this day, and to see a mental health awareness of a charity being held with the opportunity to showcase a Metroid Fusion speedrun is a very special moment for me, and I'd like to thank you, WX fan, for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure.
True. I can make it very easy. Because I've also dealt with plenty of things. I know I've talked to Dark Spy about it, like personally a few times, but I'll make it an easy reference if anyone's seen the most recent Marvel movie Thunderbolts. In layman's terms, yeah, don't ever push everything deep down and like just keep it all to yourself. Don't be afraid to reach out to people and talk to people about anything you got going on. And like the Fusion community in particular, everybody will tell you we're a very small and close, tight-knit community, and we're always here to help out for not just the speedrunning aspect of the game, but anything else that anyone has going on in life. We're always here.
Of course.
Flash, any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, like I said before, I deal with some of that on, myself, and my partner does too. And what I appreciate about her is we're both very open about, needing to, bring that stuff out to light. And I appreciate the fact that everyone's so open about it too. Remember, everyone watching, if you deal with your own, debilitating, I don't want to say the word issues, because I'm not trying to appear insensitive, but like if there are things plaguing you, talk to someone. Again, therapy is great. I know there's this stigma that's beyond it, and say you don't deal with it, right? But if you can, and I understand times are tough these days, especially with money, small donation to the to a Safe in Our World can definitely help as well. It's everyone's got their own things they gotta contend with, and something like this bringing it to light is great. So like I said, you're not alone, and thanks again, WX fan, for hosting this awesome event.
Listen, I greatly appreciate all three of you. Amazing words. Thank you all so much for participating. Folks, this isn't the last Metroid Fusion that we're going to have throughout this entire event. Why? Because we're going to show off the brand new Metroid Fusion Randovania randomizer tomorrow. But that's tomorrow, when you'll find about that schedule tomorrow, or by hitting !schedule in chat. We're going to wrap things here. Final race of this marathon for tonight. Super Metroid Dash Randomizer, our second of three Super Metroid randomizers, coming up in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.